Hey Oregonians, there is an incredibly irresponsible, even dangerous petition going around to get an absolutely batshit initiative on the ballot for 2026. Here in Oregon, for those of you who aren't from here, we have this initiative process where folks can sign petitions in sufficient numbers and get a measure put on the ballot, and Oregonians can pass it into law. It's a process that we're really proud of here in Oregon, but it often yields incredibly mixed results. And right now, canvassers are frantically gathering signatures for a petition that is absolutely fucking bonkers, and every Oregonian needs to know about it. I put out a warning last year in the fall, but I don't think enough people are aware of what's happening. In particular, if you are an Oregonian who likes to fish, if you like to hunt, if you're a farmer, if you have backyard chickens, if you've ever had to have pests removed from your attic or your yard or your business, if you are an Indigenous Oregonian, if you are a human being who cares about Indigenous rights, you need to understand what hinky shit is in this petition to get this insane ballot measure on the ballot in Oregon for November. The initiative is IP28, and it's to have the Peace Act, the People for the Elimination of Animal Cruelty Exemptions, put on the ballot, so that we, the voters, can decide if we want to make it law or not. As of right now, 92,000 Oregonians have signed this petition, and they need 117,173 to get it on the actual ballot. I guarantee you, a lot of those 92,000 people had no clue what they were signing. In the last year, I have personally had interactions with canvassers at the PSU Farmers Market, on the Max multiple times, at several protests, who are misrepresenting what this petition is for. They come up to you and they say, oh, this is for animal rights. Don't you care about animal rights? We want to make sure that we protect animals in Oregon. Would you be willing to sign for the Peace Act? Would you be willing to sign to get an initiative on the ballot for animal rights? First off, animal rights, big fucking red flag, y'all. Animal welfare and animal rights, not the same thing. This petition is put forward by a vegan advocacy group, largely funded from mystery, dark, out-of-state money. The Peace Act would make it illegal for you to fish, to hunt. It would make it illegal if you have backyard chickens and one of them gets injured and you need to humanely kill it. It would make it a crime for you to do so. It would make it a crime for pest control services to trap squirrels in your attic. It's taking direct aim at farmers in Oregon, sustainable local agriculture, making it essentially illegal for them to raise livestock, for you to eat beef, pork, chicken, you name it. And the thing that really gets my hackles up, because you know I like to talk about how veganism has a white supremacy problem, it would make it illegal for Indigenous Oregonians to fish and hunt their traditional foods. So when I saw people on the Max the other day who were going around saying, would you sign this petition for animal rights to have it be on the ballot? This is a really good measure, right? People hear animal rights and they think like, oh, this is great. This is wonderful. This is wholesome. I care about animals. Animal rights is not the same thing as animal welfare. And I'll talk about that in just a second. So they're going around saying this. I interrupted one of these canvassers and I said, did you know that this petition would make it illegal for Indigenous people in Oregon to hunt and fish their traditional foods? And the canvasser turned to me and said, not on tribal land. And my daughter sitting next to me said, oh, just on stolen land then. The majority of traditional hunting and fishing grounds are not on reservation land. Likewise, the majority of Indigenous people in Oregon do not live on reservations. It's so fucking deceptive to make it sound like Indigenous people would not have their rights infringed upon by all of the white canvassers who are out there and the overwhelmingly white voter base in Oregon. And again, doesn't just impact Indigenous Oregonians. Anybody who likes fishing, they want to make fishing illegal in Oregon. They want to drive small family farmers out of business by making it illegal for them to raise livestock. Obviously, the Oregon Farm Bureau, multiple farming groups, the Oregon Hunters Association, tribal groups have all spoken out against IP28. But still 92,000 people have signed this petition, and I think the majority of them do not understand what this ballot initiative would actually do. If you want to understand the difference between animal rights, which I do not support, and animal welfare, which of course I do, and the ways that animal rights is often extremely neglectful of animal welfare, it's often very cruel and inhumane. right? I have ducks and chickens in my backyard. I have for many, many years. Sometimes they get injured. We've had a raccoon attack one of our ducks and we had to humanely cull it. If this were to pass, that would be a crime for me to do that. I would have to take my injured, suffering animal to a veterinarian and spend hundreds of dollars having that animal put down, prolonging their suffering tremendously. Animal rights people want to give all animals, or some of them, just the ones that they find cute and fuzzy and aesthetically pleasing, the ones that they think are adorable. They want to give them the same rights as people. That's why they call it animal rights. There's no accounting for Indigenous people's rights. There's no accounting for supporting sustainable local agriculture. It's a direct attack on both of those. It's a direct attack on anybody who is striving to feed their family and be a little bit more self-sufficient, because it would make it a fucking crime for you to fish, because they want fish to have the same rights as people, right? But they don't actually care about the welfare of the people at all. It's wanting to put animal rights above welfare for animals and people, in my own personal opinion. And speaking of human rights, the man running IP28, David Mickelson, told the Oregonian that what he's doing is similar. He equated it to the crusade for women's suffrage. David put women and our rights, our basic rights, our right to vote, on the same level as the rights of salmon, of steelhead. Like I said, the whole thing is absolutely bonkers, and that the way I have repeatedly heard people attempting to gather signatures for this is absolutely deceptive. It absolutely is. And this is what happens when ideologues from out of state, right? Because Oregon Hunters Association and multiple farming groups have said the money for this is coming from, I don't know, like wealthy donors out of state who are attempting to fuck with Oregon's politics. And this goes back to how philanthropy is a scam. What a tremendous waste of money. What a tremendous waste of money to spend all of this time paying people, paying the folks who run these nonprofits, whatever their big fat fucking nonprofit salary is, to push their fringe agenda, to push their crusade of what they see is their attempt to make everybody go vegan, to force everybody to be vegan, to criminalize people eating their traditional foods, to criminalize sustainable agriculture, to criminalize people being able to source their food affordably. They want to criminalize the way that you and me, Indigenous Oregonians, choose to eat. I don't know about you. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in some dark money from out of state influencing our laws here in Oregon. And I'm not interested in somebody else dictating to me what I can and cannot eat and feed my children. I'm definitely not interested in white people telling Indigenous people they cannot hunt and fish for their traditional foods. And I'm not interested in people trying to undermine sustainable local agriculture. And everything in IP28 would do that. So they need to collect a lot more signatures, but they're almost 80% of the way there. Please be aware. Please be aware if you see these people out canvassing that when I have questioned them, when I've talked to them, they don't answer accurately about what is in their petition. I think a lot of them don't know, or maybe they don't care about being honest. I don't know. I know there's an awful lot of shit going on in the world right now, and I think they're hoping that you'll be distracted and you'll just sign because you want to do something that you think is a kindness and it'll get on the ballot, and then they're hoping it'll get 50% of the vote. I hate that I have to take the time to explain this shit. I hate that resources that should be going toward fighting fascism or protecting vulnerable people around the world, starving children who are experiencing famines in Gaza and in Sudan. I wish those resources could go to those things instead of trying to fund an initiative that would make it illegal for Native Oregonians to be able to hunt and fish. And every time I see one of these canvassers out and about, I'm going to challenge their narrative. I have no qualms about going up to them and challenging what they're doing, right? I'm fucking ready to throw down when I see these guys on the max. I did figure it was a better use of my energy to de-escalate myself in the moment, even though the max was packed. We were going home and people were going to the Blazers game, and these guys are going around with their clipboards. Please sign, please sign. I was very, very tempted to stand up and be like, hey, everybody on this max, be aware of what you're signing. It's fucking batshit. Don't sign it. But I didn't. I figured I'd make this video instead and reach a much larger audience. Don't sign IP28. And if by some miracle it gets on the ballot initiative for November, don't fucking vote for it.